The battle at Barati reached its peak as Pearl the Iron Wall, Krieg's strongest shield-bearing warrior, stepped onto the deck. His massive frame blocked the sunlight, casting a dark shadow over the exhausted chefs. The wooden planks groaned under his weight as he dragged his spiked shield behind him, leaving deep scratches in the wood. Sanji stood tall, adjusting his tie with one hand while the other held a fresh lollipop. He placed it in his mouth, the sweet taste calming his nerves as he studied his opponent. Pearl's entire body was covered in thick armor, making him look like a walking fortress. "Is that all you've got, little chef?" Pearl laughed, his voice booming across the deck. He swung his giant shield, forcing Sanji to backflip out of the way. The impact sent splinters flying through the air. Sanji landed lightly on his feet, his eyes narrowing. He knew brute force wouldn't work against this opponent. Remembering Zeph's training, he focused on finding weak points in Pearl's defense. Their battle became a dance of power versus speed. Pearl swung his shield like a battering ram, each strike shaking the restaurant. Sanji dodged gracefully, his polished shoes barely touching the ground as he looked for an opening. "Collier shoot!" Sanji's leg snapped forward like a whip, striking Pearl's jaw with perfect precision. The impact echoed across the deck, but Pearl only grinned. "Pathetic!" he roared, countering with a shield bash that sent Sanji skidding backward. Sanji wiped his mouth, his lollipop still firmly in place. He needed a new strategy. As Pearl charged again, Sanji's mind flashed back to his training, Zeph's words about friction and heat. Suddenly, he began spinning in place, faster and faster. The friction from his rapid movements caused his right leg to glow red, then burst into blue flames. The air around him sizzled with heat. Pearl hesitated for the first time. "What the? Hishatsu?" Sanji's voice was calm as he focused all his energy into his burning leg. The flames turned white-hot as he launched forward. Muton shot. The superheated kick struck Pearl's armor at the exact spot where his shoulder plates met, the only weak point. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, crack! The sound of shattering metal filled the air as Pearl's invincible armor exploded outward in a spiderweb of fractures. The giant's eyes widened in shock as he stumbled backward, smoke rising from the smoldering hole in his breastplate. Silence fell over the battlefield as Pearl collapsed onto the deck with a thunderous boom. The remaining pirates stared in horror at their defeated champion. Sanji landed smoothly, straightening his suit jacket. He took a slow drag from his lollipop before fixing Krieg's forces with a cold stare. The Barity's deck was littered with debris after Sanji's intense battle against Pearl, as Sanji collapsed from exhaustion, his legs trembling from overusing his powerful kicks. The remaining Krieg pirates began closing in with weapons drawn. Just then, Jin stepped forward, blocking their path. "Enough!" Jin growled, his chains dangling at his sides. He remembered the taste of Sanji's fried rice, the first kindness anyone had shown him in years. Krieg's face twisted in rage. "Traitor! You'll regret this!" He activated hidden compartments in his golden armor, releasing dozens of poison-tipped needles toward both Jin and the helpless Sanji. Without hesitation, Jin threw himself in front of Sanji, taking the full brunt of the attack. The needles embedded in his back as he collapsed to his knees. A man should repay kindness. Jin coughed, the poison already taking effect. This was the final straw for Luffy. The rubber boy stepped forward, his usual carefree expression replaced by cold determination. "You hurt people who help others," Luffy said quietly. "That makes you the worst kind of pirate." Krieg laughed as he revealed his final weapon, a massive spiked mace hidden in his armor. "Foolish boy, my battle spear will gum gum rocket." Luffy's fists smashed into Krieg's golden armor with incredible force, sending the warlord flying across the harbor and through his own ship's mast. After the battle, as Jin's crew carried away their defeated captain, Sanji prepared an antidote from kitchen herbs. "You're a stubborn fool," Sanji muttered as he treated Jin's wounds. But his hands were gentle. As the going merry prepared to depart, Luffy called out, Sanji, join my crew. We need an amazing cook. Zeph leaned against the doorway, smoking his pipe. Go on, Eggplant. You've outgrown this place. The entire Bharati staff came to see Sanji off. Even the chefs who always argued with him. Don't burn the rice, idiot cook. Patty shouted, throwing a bundle of kitchen knives as a farewell gift. As the ship sailed away, Sanji watched his home shrink on the horizon. Zeph's final words carried across the water. Find that all blue. You little brat. For the first time in years, Sanji didn't hide his tears, but the taste of his new lollipop was sweeter than ever.